Okay, so I kind of wanted to switch things up a little bit, and I want to start doing a whole new series that you do see a lot, that other YouTube photographers do, and that's critiquing people's work. I get a couple emails, Facebook messages, and all that kind of stuff that come in asking if I can critique their work. They'll send me their best 5 images, 6, 8, 10, etc. So I want to give you guys a chance to do that, and we have a set of 8 images, 8, right? We have a set of 8 images here from a New York photographer, a guy named Phillip Hinds. He's got a really good eye. I really want to get into them. And once again, this is my opinion. Don't take him, too seriously. Don't take it as like, an insult if I say anything. Just over on general. But we got a great set here, and let's jump into it. So as I said, we're going to start off with these two because these two are kind of out there. I didn't necessarily, guide Phillip in the right lines here, so let's just look at them. And right here we have just a simple portrait. You notice that it's okay. I mean, she's in tack sharp. I think this was taken with the 35mm lens. I think it was at a 1.8 or something. There's just a little bit going on here. A lot of, there's a lot of headroom up here, because these kind of tend to be distracting. So one thing I would say is maybe even get a little lower. Definitely try to get more of a chin line going on. No offense to anything, but just kind of get them to, stick out their jaw a little more, something like that. So if they're at the side, something like this doesn't look good. Over accentuated a little bit, it looks good even though the model feels awkward. But other than that, I like the expression on her face, but I would really work on the composition in this one. I have a feeling if you moved over a little bit, you'd have her more dead middle over here. You wouldn't have this kind of, cutting her off near her hair or anything. Definitely a tighter crop, as I said, would help. And I just have a feeling, I'll just show you kind of really quickly, maybe how, more or less of how I would do something like this. So maybe it's something like this. Let's just cut in there. Now I think that's a little better. As I said, it's a little distracting here, but it's something, it's better. There's not a ton going on. And that's just something you can keep in mind, just in general. But the lighting looks nice. As I said, she's got a good expression on her face. So let's move on to the next one. Now this, I am a sucker for black and white images. This is great. I love how the focus is, it's right here. It kind of falls off a little bit down there. I think this was also shot using the 35mm lens as well. But it tells a story, and I didn't notice this the first time I looked at it. The matching dresses, the leading line leads you down. So I think this is a really, really strong shot. One thing, again, maybe I would also cut it off a little more, kind of just, I guess, clean it up just a little bit. That's just being very nitpicky. The processing looks good. Maybe you can up the contrast a little bit, go in, or maybe go into, a Silver Effects Pro and get into that. If anything, maybe grab a little lower. And I think you did kneel down a little bit here. As I said, that it's a good shot. I just like, the simplicity of it. I think it really works. All right, next one is this. Okay, so I should also prelude that Phillip is turning more into a wedding photographer. He's starting to get his own, becoming first shooter. So I think that this is, I think Phillip does have a great eye. I'm going to link his Flickr set down in the description below. He really does have an eye for things, and I think he can do well in the wedding industry. I see what you're doing here. I love this moment. I think it works really well. I mean, the tone looks great. Everything looks fine. I see why you wanted to put something in the foreground to separate them. I just don't think it works 1000% here. I think that this moment, maybe even cropped, down to here, would work really well. Because you have a moment here, but this almost kind of intersects it. And the problem is, my first, gut reaction is to look at the bright pink down here. So try to keep that in mind as well. I personally would have just left it more natural without putting anything in the foreground. As I said, that's what grabs my attention first. But in regards to, the processing looks great. It's realistic. It's awesome. And as I said, I like the expression. Just I would watch out for something like this. And I understand what you were trying to do. So, okay, I'm sure we're getting into the wedding more. Okay, so this is while they're getting ready. You typically get these shots. The bride looking away as they're all getting primped up and everything. I see you got some nice window light in, so that looks really good. I would just, and it is tough to photograph, lighter clothing on darker skin. It absolutely is, and I think you did a very nice job. Plus, you're getting a little bit of kickback, up here from the dress alone, and that's great. Maybe I would stop it down just a little bit to grab more detail in this area, just because it is kind of blown out. Other than that, I think it's a grab shot. It's something you would throw in there. Maybe I was hoping she would do a little more, but it's a nice little smile, so maybe the eyes are lifted up, but it's a nice little candid. I don't mind the way it's cropped at all, because you see that something's going on here, and that's just how it is. That's the story of the day. Let's jump into the next one. Now this, I am a sucker for macro photography. Maybe go a little closer, but a ring shot like this, maybe move up just a little more on the flower, just so that way you can see more detail in this one. As I said, this white is a little overpowering, so maybe getting just a little closer. But that's what you want to see from a macro shot. This is a typical ring shot. That's what you do, and I think it's a great idea. You put them on flowers, so that's a great touch. I like the way they pop out, compared to the pink flower. Great, that works 100%. But as I said, I'd work about getting just maybe a little closer, really seeing this detail here, and just kind of showing more of the ring, because this one kind of just falls back a little bit, just in my opinion there. But that's exactly how you want a ring shot. Okay, so I see we're going through the wedding day a little more, and I actually really like this shot. And then this is a perfect one that the bride will love, and the groom as well. This black and white is, it's perfectly edited. It looks really well. The lighting's well, and I could tell from these lights that it's really a horrible area, and you're using some flash. Now, the only thing I kind of see, just in regards to the, it's a little tilted a little bit. I don't necessarily think it kills the image, in my opinion. It's just something slight. I'm more of, preferring things just, completely straight, maybe just a slight touch, and that's fixed. But as I said, I like the moment here. It's a great shot. I like the fact that, the ring's here and everything, and, it's a really, really great shot. That's why I said, I think, Phillip, you've got an eye for this. All right, we're coming up on the last two. Okay, so we're back to, all right, it's just overall, it's just way too overexposed. You gotta find a way to kill down that background. Maybe use an ND filter that would help you out. Just something to get away from. Is it window? I don't even know if that's window. Maybe you sat her on the window or something, but there's just a lot of detail loss. There's not much going on. It's kind of cool, I guess, a little cool, the angelic flow, the highlights, being overblown. But for me, it's just a little bit too much. You lose all this detail. You don't really know what it is. So that's really, really tough. As I said, maybe an ND filter would work if you're trying to get something shallow. I bet you shot this probably close to something more wide open, and that's why you're getting a lot of this light. As I said, her skin looks pretty decent, but just in general, if you're posing her, I would watch out for maybe this hand down here like that. It just looks like she has hands coming from nowhere. I don't know if I mind that too much, but just kind of make sure that stuff like this will kind of get straightened up, and definitely just to primp it up a little bit. That's one thing you should always look for. All right, and one of the last shots from Phillip is one of the setup shots. Now, I think that this is spot on. This is how you want the, I'm guessing this would be the bride. I'm assuming, and this is her, this is her party back here. I love the street shot. I love the fact that, the heels and everything, great. I think that's a great way to fill the frame. I think it needs to just get slight more straight. But other than that, I just watch out for something like this sticking out of the frame. I like the feel of it. You get that urban vibe, that really city feel. maybe if you could find something a little less polluted, that would have been fine. But as I said, I know how weddings work. That's exactly what happens. This is how the day goes. And, you set it up, you get it. You typically don't have a ton of time, but everyone's having fun. The expression she has is fantastic. And that's key. That's great how you have the legs, the arm hanging over. That's very important. I would also watch for her, this finger right here. It looks like she's missing a little finger there. So make sure that next time you see something like that, you get her to just bring it out. Just my opinion on that. So as I said, I think you really have an eye for this. You're getting into it. You're seeing things well. It's shots like this that come out, and you're just like, couples love that stuff. They will get prints like that and everything. It's just something like this. You got to watch for the highlights and being blown out. Macro shot, I think you're basically almost there. This is the stuff you want to see. This is what the bride and her family, they love. The mother, they will go nuts over a shot like this, and simple stuff like this as well. So that's all I got right here. If you want to check out more of Phillip's stuff, you can send, I'll link it down here, but this is more of his stuff. As you see, he's really getting into wedding photography, and as I said, he's got a really great eye. So that's all I got. If you guys want to send me some images, I'd say about five or eight images, feel free to do so at eric@ericrossi.com. Just give me written permission that I can use your images for critique on YouTube, and let's do this. Let's have some fun. Let's learn. It'd be cool to see what other people shoot, and so if you want to get critiqued, let me know. Hey guys, keep an eye out.